up, my civil? It's your boy Buckmaster twice the night that you were used to show Blemson, and today we are here to talk about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Buckmeister Cool from Meister Geek Media. I talk all sorts of geek media, from the comic books and the superheroes to the animes and the sci-fis and all of that good stuff. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please feel free to tickle that subscribe button and that bell button so you never miss a video. Alright, so for those of you that don't know, and there is a link in the info card. I can't speak now because I'm kind of hype and excited. But yeah, there's a link in the info card, you'll see it up there, where you can go check out my playlist on Shang-Chi. So I've been wanting some Shang-Chi media from the MCU for a very long time. I have been advocating for this ever since Iron Fist dropped, and I am so happy that my man's got a movie. But speaking of which, cinemas. Can y'all stop doing 3D? Can we just stop it? Because that's just giving me more motivation to stay home. Cause 3D doesn't enhance a movie for jack. It doesn't do anything. It was dark in some scenes looked like they weren't lit well. 3D is horrible, it's a bad idea. Stop doing it, cinemas. I'm tired of this 3D-ness. Okay, Centaur. Let's talk about Shang-Chi now. So, Simu Liu, fantastic job, man. Simu Liu, great job. I mean, of course, Shang-Chi is not really, it's not really like a one-to-one, like a representation of what Shang-Chi is in the comics. They weave some of that in a little bit, but like they kind of just make him a guy who knows kung fu as opposed to somebody who's got all of the aphorisms and who's very much Bruce Lee-ish. He's not that. Makes sense. I don't know if there's going to be hardcore Shang-Chi fans who will be irritated by that. I don't think so, because I mean, look, it was good, and it was good in the comics, and I don't think it was a bad character in the comics, but looking at the way we live now and the current context in which people live in, especially in the States, I don't think people would have wanted a lot of aphorisms and things coming out of Shang-Chi's mouth. I still think Simu Liu did a great job portraying the character, and I think making him a guy who knows kung fu versus being this he still knows his kung fu, and he's still fantastic with the we'll get into the action in a second. But yeah, they definitely deviated a lot from the comics. Not a lot, let me say that. Not a lot. They deviated like a noticeable amount from the comics, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like it brought the character down. It actually, and I don't even think it elevated the character above what the character is in the comics. I think it's on the same level, it's just different interpretations, and I do like this interpretation a lot of what they did with Shang-Chi. I do like it a lot, and I can see them folding it into the comics, most definitely. Aquafina was good. So Aquafina was obviously being touted as the comedic sidekick. They don't have a love plot in this, which, I mean, I can take that or leave it. They imply a lot of stuff, I guess, if you want to take implications. But yeah, take it or leave it anyway. I still think that she was pretty good in the movie. And she's not just there to be annoying. She didn't annoy me in the movie, which is fantastic. I mean, Aquafina's a pretty good actress anyway. But yeah, the point being is that she's not there just to be, hey, Shang-Chi, and quit. No, she is there, and you do see what she does. Like her character, you do see what her character did for Shang-Chi throughout the story. If you go into the subtext a little bit, you do see what she did for him. So it is pretty nice to see them two paired together. The chemistry is actually pretty good. Let's get to this villain for a second. Oh my gosh. This villain, the quote-unquote, the Mandarin, the Master of the Ten Rings. I'm forgetting this actor's name. Oh my gosh. I want to say, solid villain. Motivation was there. You felt sorry for him. And the reason why he's doing what he's doing is not some boo. I mean, it's been done before. You will see it, and some may roll their eyes or whatever. But I feel like if you're rolling your eyes, it's not fair. I mean, do what you want. But I feel like the motivation here was pretty strong and solid for me. I got to see what was going on and all of that good stuff with him, and they pair him down. Like the villain actually chills out. This is one of the few villains that actually chills out, like in the middle of the movie. or whatever. He's not full on, you know, he's not Thanos or whatever way, or Killmonger per se, where they were hardcore 100% throughout the movie. Now this dude, like, he takes a back pedal, he chills, he relaxes, and then something happens that makes him go full on villain again. So you'll see that in the movie. But this actor did a great job. I'm so sorry. I have his name. I'll have the actor's name in the video. You'll see. You'll probably be seeing it now. But yeah, man, kudos. He is a good villain. He's a very good villain. The action and the CG in this were some of the highlights. Like, they did some great jobs with the action here. Very Jackie Chan centric, of course, because I know one of the guys who was affiliated with Jackie Chan's team a lot. He passed before working on this before the movie came out. He was working on this movie, but he passed before the movie came out. R.I.P. But yeah, very Jackie Chan centric, very kinetic, very the angles that they pick are amazing as well, and all of that. That's why the 3D was making me mad, because like some of this stuff was looking so good, but now the 3D was obscuring it. Sometimes it was But anyway, the action was spectacular, the staging of the fights was spectacular, and all the actors who were doing their thing were really doing their thing. I mean, that's why like a guy like Simu Liu was perfect for this, because he's great at acting, but he's also really good at action. So he's a martial artist, so it was fantastic, some of these scenes. These scenes were really, really shot well, and I really love the action. Now for my one criticism. I know you're surprised, gasp and all. But yeah. I do have one criticism of this movie, and it's just that the climax, it let me down a little bit. It let me down a little bit for two reasons. I mean, one, it kind of was just it was kind of a generic climax. Like it was not like there was something to be gleaned from it, or it's not like they were doing something interesting. It was kind of a Avengers-esque, climax, which I mean makes sense. It's the MCU, but I'm just saying they did so many interesting things in this movie that I didn't think that they were gonna do that. And then I thought, okay, maybe if they're going down this route, the character that they would use, because they have a chance to fold in a character into this particular movie that would have fit perfectly. They had a real chance to bring this character in and just have him on the screen. At least it would have been more interesting to look at. But they kind of just go with the generic look of things, which I was just like, I mean, look, it looked good. And like what happens in the climax is not bad, but for all the interesting things that they did do, this was the one uninteresting thing that they did do. And basically what I'm trying to say is that the climax could have been more. It could have been more, and it should have been more. It was not bad, but compared to the rest of the movie, it was not that great. Like the rest of the movie, they were doing fantastic things, and then this movie, they were kind of just doing. The climax was just kind of meh for me, and that's like you can't be meh in a good movie like that. It's just kind of it didn't really stick the landing in the ending. But I gotta say, this was a solid entry. Phase 4 is off to a good start. Shang-Chi brought the thunder. I really think that this is a movie you should go check out if you have not checked it out, especially if you're a Shang-Chi fan and you've been clamoring for something. They do a lot of interesting things, a lot of Easter eggs, actually. And yeah, a lot of things that happen where it's like, okay, that's a deep cut there. That's a deep cut. But all in all, solid movie. Great entry into the fourth phase of Marvel. And yeah, if go check it out in cinemas. Let's see if we can communicate to Marvel that we want more of this. And cinemas, stop it with the 3D. Nobody needs it. So those are my thoughts on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. What did you think? Have you seen it? Comment down below if you have seen it. No spoilers, please. We're gonna keep this spoiler free. I've got a spoiler discussion coming up for you very soon, so stay tuned. Subscribe for that if you want to get my spoilery thoughts on it. But yeah, just tell me what you thought of the movie, general impressions, or tell me what you thought of the trailer, general impressions, and all of that stuff. And yeah, let's keep it spoiler light, Meisterville. Look at that, you made it to the end of the video. You are spectacular. spectacular. Now, if you really like this video, I got another one up here. I got a playlist down there, and I got an icon you can click on to subscribe. Remember to ring the bell if you do subscribe, and I'll see you all in another video, because Meister Man's got to be out. Push!